Shooting through brush, what works better? A slow, round, or flat-nosed bullet like the 30-30 throws, or a long, fast, sleek, sharply pointed bullet like the 308 Winchester shoots? Well, we're going to find out on this episode of Ron Spomer Outdoors when we start shooting through the brush. Brush bullets. Can you really shoot through brush? It's been argued for ages and ages, and I don't know if it's ever going to stop. But recently, my friend Tate shot a 7mm PRC to see what that would do, just through a few blades of grass and some small weeds, and he was astounded to see the deflection as much as 4 feet just by shooting through that light stuff. What happens when you go through real brush? Well, for generations now, hunters have been saying the 30-30 is a great brush cartridge. Many argue that it's not necessarily a great brush cartridge. The rifles it's chambered for, lever actions, are pretty cool. They work well in the brush. But is the 30-30 really going to plow through brush better than, say, the 308 Winchester? A lot more energy and power and velocity in that bullet. Wouldn't that plow through more brush? Well, maybe because of the curvature of the nose of those sharply tipped bullets, it's going to deflect more. Whereas the rounded bullet of the 30-30 might straight penetrate through more wood. We want to find out, and we're going to really test it by going to a 35 caliber. This is the 360 Buckhammer, a 200 grain bullet. That should probably get through most of the brush. We're going to shoot through a lot of brush and branches and just see what happens to these bullets on this episode of Ron Spomer Outdoors. Now, we zeroed these rifles pretty well at 50 yards. The 30-30 rifle is the model 94 Winchester, the classic, right? And for the Buckhammer, I have a Henry shooting the Buckhammer. That's the Henry lever action rifle. And for the 308, we have something that most American deer hunters use.
A Blaser.
A Blaser R8, but it is accurate. So if you can't hit a deer with an accurate rifle like that, probably not the brush's fault. All right, Tate is going to be shooting the 30-30 with a 170 grain core lock. It's kind of what most 30-30 guys are shooting, something like that. Winchester, Remington, Federal, common stuff. Been using it for years. Gonna see if this can get through that brush. Now, one man's brush may not be another man's wall. So how do you determine how much is too much brush? Target's 10 yards behind. If you've got a deer 10 yards behind that brush, do you risk shooting it?
I don't know if I would, but especially after doing my 7 PRC test, I don't think I would, but somebody might if you saw a 200-inch deer there.
All right, close your ears, guys. Here we go. Shoot him again. He's getting away. That was perfect. God, you're killing him every time, dude. I don't think you're hitting any branches.
Am I not?
Okay, well, that worked. But that's always the issue. Did he hit any branches? Want to go look in those bushes, see if he hit something?
Let's go look at the bushes.
Let's go see if he look. I don't see any busted branches, my friend.
No?
No.
Let's go on the other side.
Go on the other side. We'll look at both angles. See, this is one of those lucky deals where he slipped the bullet through a hole in the brush. And I think that's a big part of the reason guys say this is a great brush rifle. How do you know you even hit the brush? Maybe you slipped on through and got your deer, and now you think, wow, great brush gun. Just because the bullet got through the brush doesn't mean it hit any.
I don't see a single bullet.
I don't see anything on these branches being hit. Nothing's on the ground down there. We got to shoot some more. We got to hit some branches. All right, stage 2, you're going to be shooting a 360 Buckhammer. Again, we've got Remington core lock ammunition, 200 grain. This is one people think are going to do better.
Plow through stuff.
Yeah, going to plow through. So pick a lot of good branches in there. These are fairly light branches, remember, folks. And the target is just 10 yards behind.
Let's do it.
Put a hole in them. 2,180 feet per second. Pretty close, pretty close. Oh, I saw the branches move on that one. Oh, big hole sideways. I think there's some definite problems with this one. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, you missed everything here.
Oh, look at that.
See, you know what happened? I'll bet you never hit a branch in that first shot.
No.
Then you hit a branch and you got it sideways.
Yeah.
And I think this was your second shot, though.
Was that one? Tumbled and pinwheel.
Man, look at this. You're about a foot away.
Yep.
Pretty close to 1 foot. This is the thing, folks. With the 30-30, he only hit those 3 little branches. And we don't know if that was 1 bullet or 2 or 3. But 1 bullet seemed to get in perfectly. The other 2 were just a little bit off.
Yeah, but all 3 kill shots.
Okay. Now 2 kill shots here.
You'd
still.
you'd have missed that one deer on that one shot.
Yeah, that would have been a crippling shot. Now let's just see how big of a branch you hit. Whoa. Oh, yeah. And that's a dead one, too. And those are often harder. Man, you were mowing them down, dude.
I was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, but that's what you got to expect. And this is the whole problem with talking about brush. What's brush? What's your definition of brush? We thought this is fairly reasonably thick brush, not overly done. But, man, did it make that one bullet go crazy.
I think the point of this test, too, is that when you're out hunting in the woods, you don't have a set amount of sticks or a set thickness of sticks.
Yeah, you don't know what you're shooting.
Oh, I'm going to go through an 1/8 inch branch, but not a 1/2 inch.
Yeah, no.
You don't know what's in front of you.
Exactly.
This just goes to show that if you hit the wrong branch, even a bigger 35 caliber weapon,
200 grain bullet.
200 grain bullet is going to tumble.
Yeah, it's going to tumble, guys. And remember, that target with a 12-inch deflection of that bullet is only 10 yards beyond this brush. All right, guys, now we're going to shoot the 308 with a spire point. This, again, is Remington Ammunition, 165 grain core lock tipped bullet. It's got the plastic polymer tip on it. This is the one most guys would say is not good for brush.
Yep.
You've got that steeply curved nose on there, and it's going to deflect it. Yeah, it should, but can you get through? You're going to try to hit the same number of branches you did last time?
I'm going to try. It's going to be very scientific. Let's do
Okay. I saw a branch fall. Oh, you hit some branches big time. Dark side of the moon. I think you put some into that target, but I won't swear to it. This is not looking good for the spire point bullet. There, broadside. Yeah, that's a decent hole, but whoa, are you a long way?
On that one, but...
Man, now, do you blame this on the bullet? Do you blame it on the velocity like a lot of people do? It's easy to do that, but this is not a scientific test. How can we determine? We probably have to shoot a whole box of ammo to get some numbers off of this. I don't know if we should or not, but let's just see what kind of branch you hit this time. Well, this one's new.
Yep, that one's new.
That down there. And that is a green bow. Yeah. You really smacked that one.
Yeah, I did.
Looks like 2 times. Yep, and that one. So 1, 2, 3 different pieces of wood. That is pretty significant. So, and we didn't do that with the 30-30.
No.
We should almost try shooting the 30-30 through this thicker stuff and see.
Let's do it.
One more time. Let's try it.
One more.
Well, we decided, since you were shooting through so many branches with the other two, we needed to give this 30-30 another ring.
Let's do it.
So, once again, guys, 170 grain core lock bullet, soft point, lead exposed. Is it going to make a difference? Hit some branches this time. Branches are flying. I saw wood. Well, I don't know what happened there. That one hit a little bit sideways. Pretty good sized hole.
Did it?
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. It's over by the T-post.
This one? What's this one? Is that one of your bullets? Or yeah. You can see the backside. There's pieces of steel all over. Oh, you hit the post behind it.
Did I?
Yeah, this post behind here got smashed.
Oh!
Look at that.
So it went through, hit the post.
It's cracked on this side. No, you dented it here.
And then it
here the post is dented.
Blew back through on
That's your second one.
So this goes to show that even the invenerable 30-30 is not
You hit
invenerable.
a stout enough branch. And who knows what branch you hit. We'll go look. But even when hit, these are both keyholing. Seriously.
Really badly.
Yeah. So I would say 10-yard shot, wounded deer, I would shoot through brush like this. Chances are you're probably going to hit. And he's wounded already. You've got to finish him off.
It's just spray and pray, Hail Mary.
But a fresh deer, one you haven't shot yet, shooting through brush like that, asking for trouble. I wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't either.
Let's go see what you hit. This place is turning into a buzz.
I mean, I'm hitting real close. I'm hitting real close to where I wanted to hit every time. There's a pretty good group for all the cartridges there. I mean, that's my 308. There's my 30-30 right there.
You got it.
So,
now go sliding way up to the very top. Those are your first 30-30s.
Yep.
And those are tiny little limbs.
Yep.
So I would say a branch that's that small, smaller than your little finger, like half the diameter of your little finger, pretty successful getting through those.
Yep.
If it's just 1 or 2. But this other stuff now,
There's lead and copper everywhere.
He said there's lead and copper everywhere. Landon's finding lead and copper everywhere.
So Landon is our cameraman right now. Well, actually, Griffin's the cameraman at the moment, but Landon has been the cameraman.
We're all cameramen if we have a camera.
That looks like a 360 right there.
That looks like that 360 Buckhammer bullet.
It does.
That is.
It's bent. It's all twisted.
Is there some lead in there yet? No.
All the lead's out.
This is why they call them cup and core bullets. The cup is a gilding metal jacket. They draw it into the shape. They put a lead cable inside of it, and then they squeeze it into the final bullet shape. And that's why the two pieces can come apart. There's nothing locking them together.
No.
Bonded bullets lock it together molecularly, and walls in them, like a partition or an A-frame, have a horizontal wall across the middle of the bullet, and that holds at least the shank lead in. The combination can be done as well, and then you've really got something. Or you can go to an all-copper bullet, and there's really nothing to break apart but some petals that could come off. But that's classic stuff.
I think the whole point of it, like what this shows to me, is that if you're through relatively thick brush and you can miss most of it, you're going to probably be successful. But is it worth trying it?
Now, speaking of miss, with the scope on that 308, could you have picked a hole to shoot through?
I might have, if I was through that.
See, a lot of guys will talk about that. Now, I tried it one time with a black bear. It stopped with one limb, about a 3-inch in diameter alder across his vital zone. Yeah. And I thought, well, I'll just hold low and I'll miss it. I smacked dead center on that thing. The bullet got through and killed the bear anyway.
Which you're lucky.
But the bear was right up against it. He was practically rubbing on the darn thing. So who knows what would have happened if he had been farther away. So you can shoot through a branch, but...
Honestly, I don't know if we should add branches to this. I think more what we should do is maybe try and sneak some through in less dense areas and see... deflect.
You just want to shoot up all my ammunition and have some fun.
Well, it's free, and I like shooting guns.
If we're going to continue this, Grandpa Ron gets to pull the trigger. Guys, we just wanted to show you the shrapnel on this thing. We're going to do some more shooting, but we thought we would circle some of the shrapnel coming through. Look at all of this shrapnel. That's from that one shot with a 30-30 that hit the steel backer post. That is a lot of pieces. Well, here it is, a target and all this new brush we're going to shoot through. You think we can get through that with this bullet?
I have my doubts, but we're gonna try it.
Let's get down nice and low so we really shoot through a lot of it, but try to pick an open hole if you can.
Yep.
Okay. Let's you go. Shoot the open sights. I'm gonna sneak a shot in here with that scope rifle.
Alrighty. This is some thick crap.
Yeah.
I think there's a little spot right here I can sneak it through though. Let's see if I can get her.
Saw some brush in front of you move a little bit, but that just might have been the muzzle blast.
It's hard to tell, honestly, what's moving and what's not, but I could see a few branches break in front of me. I think I snuck through most of the stuff directly in front of me, but it's really hard for me to see the zero on that target from here.
Yeah, should we go down and look at the target?
Let's go see where we hit.
Guys, this is insane. But what it proves is that you should shoot through brush if you're Tate, because his group through brush was better than his group off the bench. That's crazy. There's only one hole that looks like it's a little bit oblong. What a group. I'd have been proud of that from the bench.
I'm pretty proud of that. Now, I was actually trying to sneak it through the brush, so I had a fairly clear opening in some regards, but it was pretty thick. I could barely see what I was aiming at. But I'm going to try one more group, and I'm going to shoot it through the thick stuff. We're going to see which one of these cartridges actually does the best shooting, plows through the brush.
No sneaking through holes.
No sneaking through.
But you know what? Most guys who watch this now are going to say, I'm going to try sneaking through the hole.
Don't sneak it through the brush. That was...
You're a bad example.
I'm pretty shocked that I was able to do that. Don't do that, by the way. Don't just try and sneak one through, but let's see what we can do here. I can barely even see the target, so...
Yeah, I don't think you hit it. Yeah, you did hit it. Way off in the right.
I'm hitting branches now.
Yeah, you were doing some damage.
Beautiful. That's what I was going for. That's not even saying what I did through this. Yeah. Look how big that hole is for a 30-30.
No kidding.
It's mushrooming from back there.
Oh, I'll bet.
It's creating a bigger hole.
Still, that's pretty impressive. This is almost depressing. We're going to encourage people to shoot through brush now.
No, we're not. Don't shoot through brush, because I was aiming right there, and I hit right there.
Yeah, but you know what the average guy's going to say. You got your deer, mister.
If I shot 3 times, I got my deer. But really what I done right here, if I'm aiming there, I hit it in the guts twice and missed it once.
Depending on how it was facing.
Yeah. Or
and we're only, what are we looking at, 40 yards?
Yeah, 40 yards. So if you're 100, 150 yards.
So there's just problems any way you slice this.
Let's go with a 360. I kind of want to see what that one does. See if it does any different.
360 Buckhammer, 2 branches. Oh, you hit branches in front. Plenty of branches, my friend.
Plenty of branches.
Plenty.
Well,
got one there and one there. Woo. Did you hit this one just now?
Yeah, that was one.
Crazy.
That one's a little bit sideways. You can see the rifling on the side.
This is too.
Yeah, that one is.
Long, and this one's really bad. Right beside the 30-30 was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your expanding 30-30. Well, you know what? The final one we have to do is the 308. Now, this is probably not a fair chance again because I am going to try to hit maximum branches. And I know I'm going to drill some right in front of me. I can't even see the target through this stuff. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. I rattled a few bushes in front of me. I've got a dead center limb right in front of me. Oh, I threw some branches off there big time.
I can see some keyholes right at the bottom of the target, Ron. Oh boy. Where's the third one?
Way down here.
Oh. So 2 right there.
I was holding right about there. Got 2 keyholers here, keyhole there. You know what?
What?
I mean, this is still not enough rounds to really prove anything, but we consistently got more keyhole bullets with the 308 than we did the flat nose and round.
But it didn't necessarily veer more than the other cartridges.
Yeah, it's still getting a decent group. That first time we had a nice tight group.
Right here.
Yeah,
you know, it was about like that.
Bad. This time that one really threw it off.
Yeah. But
so that bullet was really going goofy.
But I mean, considering that the 360 and the 30-30 both had flyers that were more than a foot away.
Yeah, like just way over here.
That it just kind of goes to show that even though they're gonna keyhole more, doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna deflect more. Obviously, we'd have to shoot a whole bunch more through the brush to see, but
I think, you know, the old timers saying that those blunt nose, flat nose bullets do a little better in the brush. I think
they're right.
It looks like that's what's happening here, guys.
Yeah.
I would suggest you go home with 4 cases of ammunition.
And go test all these.
Case. You shoot about 400 rounds and then see what your average looks like.
Yes. Then we'll have a really good reading.
I think that's the absolute value in this exercise is if you do have a wounded animal in the brush, go for it.
Yeah.
You've got a pretty fair chance of getting one in there, and he's already wounded. You need to finish him off. Let me tell you about a keyhole bullet that worked one time. I was in Africa and I shot a water buck going away with a Barnes bullet. Big, heavy Barnes X bullet's going to go.
Yeah.
And I told the PH, this Barnes bullet will go from the rump into the vitals. And sure enough, it made him really sick, and he stopped in some thick bushes. And we walked up to him, put a finisher in him. Well, it was thick, like what we're shooting through, and even thicker maybe.
Yeah.
But he was right in the brush, so I knew I was right close to him.
Yeah.
That bullet keyholed like this. Well, it was more like this. It was the complete length of the bullet, and I recovered it, got in and killed the animal. But he was only about 10 yards away from me or something. But I think I can find that bullet and show it to you.
That'd be cool.
But that keyhole from the brush right about here to right about here, that was all the further. And that's a tough bullet.
It is.
But it just started spinning.
So is that, I mean, but if he's already wounded, you just got to finish him, right?
That's the point. He's wounded, you might as well try to get one in there. Even if it does keyhole, you finished him off.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that we've kind of shown that it's kind of all over the board, literally, when you're trying to shoot through brush. So obviously be really careful when you're doing that. But if you have a really good brush busting cartridge, which I'm starting to second think what a good brush busting cartridge is anymore.
You know what? Somebody's going to ask us to do the 4570 now.
Yes, they will.
All right, next time, 4570, brush buster.
But in the meantime,
hunt honest and shoot straight. Do you have a tag for that? Oh, it makes me want to go shoot through some brush and kill a post.